Hey guys, back to reality. Hope you've all had a good one. It's, what day is it? Day after Boxing Day. Yeah, I actually had a day off Boxing Day, which was nice. Don't get me wrong, I had a lovely day, Christmas Day, but you know, I had to get back and do that video that you was all waiting for, which I did get out a little bit late, didn't I? Because I told you all 7:30. You won't believe the reason behind the lateness. And it's just my luck. So I got back here from seeing the children. I sort of hung that out as long as possible, left it to the last minute like I normally do. So I was in a bit of a rush. I got back here, the dogs have been on their own all day, and amazingly they behaved themselves, so I let them out, go and do what they've got to do. And as soon as they came back in, I came up here to do that video. So I've done that as quick as I could, went back down the house, and then the disaster happened. Bodie, the little French dog, had decided to relieve himself everywhere, and I just went flying straight through the kitchen door and went just trud in the lot and walked it through the kitchen in the front room till I realised what I'd done. Oh God, I thought, no, I haven't got time for this. Oh, it absolutely stunk. Probably as bad as the van scene that Matt put up a few months ago. So yeah, just my luck, that is. So it didn't go to plan, so I spent as long as it took trying to clean the house back up. I wasn't happy. I was not happy. But anyway, it's all done and dusted now. It is. And back onto Dan's bike. I'm going to do quite a simple job today, just to break things back in and get back into my stride. So the plan is, as some of you are aware, is to get these customer bikes done and gone, and then I'm going to 100% concentrate on builds for the channel. Obviously we've got the GS to finish, which we will film the continuation of that right to the end. We've got the turbo bike and we've got the Ural, and I've got a few jobs to do on Mark's BSA, Turbo Mark, who brought the turbo up for the GSX. So we'll probably film a bit of that as well. And then we are free to get on with all sorts of different projects. Obviously we'll do the turbo and the Ural first, and not first, the GS is going to come first. What am I on about? We'll get them out of the way first. And then we're going to get some right weird and wonderful things in and do some hopefully interesting jobs for you guys to follow. So that's the plan. But first, 3 Enfields to do. One being we're going to continue doing as much as possible on film. The other 2 will be going on in the background, while we'll then continue with filming the GS, and then after that we'll probably drop onto the turbo bike or the Ural, whichever I decide to do first. Probably the turbo bike because we're part way through that. Anyway, today I'm going to do the speedo bracket for this. So we're going to do it pretty much how they were on the World War II Enfield, which was a really simple bracket coming off the top of the springs, off the forks, the girder forks, and then out to the speedo, and it just literally sat up there to one side. So that's what we're going to do. I've already done sort of a template. Now it's going to go. We're going to cut this out in metal, drill it all out. I've decided it may be best with a little step in there, just to drop it down slightly. Then that will be virtually in line where it's got to, the cable's got to come straight down and into the speedo drive on the wheel, because on the older Enfields they had the half width hubs. I ain't sure if they was rear wheel speedo drive, I'm not sure, but we've got to put the speedo on this side for it to work with the speedo drive. Anyway, let's cut that out and get it done. Okay, I'm just going to simply draw around this, rough it out, and then we can tidy it up when it's all cut out. I'll probably drill it actually before we cut it out, so it's a nice chunk of material there to hold while we're drilling. Yeah, we're progressing quite well on Dan's bike now. We've got just a few odds and ends to tidy up really, and I've got the rear brake light switch to make the bracket for it, which is absolutely nothing, just a real simple flat piece of plate for that. So yeah, we're really close tearing it down. I've got to sort the front end out. I've got a bit of a bolt to put through that, make and put through that, and just sort it all out so it's as safe as possible. You know, it's never going to be an amazing thing to ride with our tail and girder front end, but that's not what it's about. It'd be go and park up at the pub and show off, I guess. And Dan will probably park it outside his shop, especially with his number plate being veg, because he does, as you know, he does all the spices and vegetables and stuff. So it's a cracking number plate that he's got there, and that wasn't planned, it just happened like that. So it'd be a cool bike to park outside his shop. So yeah, we ain't far short from stripping it down really. Obviously there's bits I've got to do when it is stripped down that I can't get into while it's built, so all the welding and cleaning up will be finished when it's in bits. In the meantime, we'll get all these little brackets done. I think the easiest way to do that is use what comes with the speedo. Now, where have I put that? Where have I put that? So there's the, there we go. Here it is. I'm going to mark it out with this. So obviously it won't be using this bracket. There we go. Right, I'm going to cut this out, drill these holes, then what else we got to do? Oh yeah, because this is actually a BSA girder fork, and we're trying to fit this the same as it was on the wartime Enfields, I've got to do some little brackets on the forks for this to bolt to as well. So it'll be just some simple round slugs that are drilled and tapped for this to bolt to at the top. It really is a simple bracket, because we want to try and, you know, it's obviously is a nod to the dispatch bike sort of thing. Not a copy of it, it's just a little nod to it. Rightio. So I've cut that out, drilled some holes, done a fold in it, which will add a bit of strength, save it sort of vibrating around, I guess, or sort of eliminate that a bit better. I don't know if you can see that line. I'm going to trim this down a bit so it looks a bit wide when you put it on the forks, but it's going to sit about like so. That's about where they are sitting on the Enfields, the original ones. So I just got to figure out a real simple way to bolt it there. Then the speedo cable will literally just go straight down to the front wheel. So I reckon I'm going to turn some bits down or find some round bar, and we'll just put that on here. Like I say, these are BSA forks, so we want to try and make this simple bracket the same as it fits on the Enfield forks. And putting it there, it'll all move with the forks. So basically the wheel, this, the cable and everything will all move together. You can definitely see it more than good enough back here where I'll probably sit on the bike actually, because I can still bend the angle on this if it needs it. I'm going to trim it off first, then there's a grease nipple here. I'll see if it'll need a little cutout in here for the grease nipple. I'll say it's just going to be a simple job today, just getting myself back into it. Alright, let's trim that and see how it fits then. Right, that's that about done. Like I say, it's only a little job today, just to get back into things. So I have done these little brass bolts for it. I've sort of turned the top down and polished them up, so they're a little bit better in there, because being right at the top, I might as well make the bolts look smart. I've cut some sort of little slugs and drilled and tapped them. They're tacked onto the top of the forks. So I'm just going to try it out, I think, and put the speedo on and see what it looks like. I say that's pretty much how they were on the Enfields. I know it kind of looks basic, but that's sort of where we're going with this bike. Yeah, let's try it on. So yeah, these are just tacked on for now. I'm going to very, very carefully weld them up when the bike comes apart. So I'll just fumble around for 10 minutes trying to get a bolt started. There we go. It's in. There we go. And we just got that little cutout there for the grease nipple. Oh, let me just get the speedo. Yeah, and this is pretty much how they were. I suppose we'll have all this powder coated the same colour as the forks. And the wire for the speedo light, we'll run that straight back so you can't really see it, and it'll go down part way with the speedo cable, I guess. There we go. That's about it. That is pretty much how they were. I say, when that bracket's the same colour as the forks, I think that'll look alright actually. And the speedo will, well, the cable will come, it's a bit dark around here, isn't it? Straight down into the speedo drive. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, sorted. Like I say, just an easy job getting back into things. Really, tomorrow I need to get up on time, early-ish, and have a good clean up in here and get sorted so we can really get stuck back into this. Although we are really approaching the end of all the major jobs on it. We literally we've got a bolt to put in here. We've got a few things to clean up on the forks, which I will do when they've removed. We've got a little bracket down here for the brake light switch. We've got the brake light rod to sort out. And then we're pretty much ready to come to bits, really, which is great. and sort colours out and stuff. I've got to sort the spindle out for the front wheel and get that done. We've got a couple of little brackets to put on for the brake cable, because obviously we're mixing and matching completely different things off completely different bikes, so we've got to do that. So yeah, it's just an handful of really small, simple, basic jobs to get this bike ready for teardown. I think literally maximum I've probably got 2 full days on it, really, just going over things, and then it'd be coming to bits. We've got stuff like the steering lock to take off and things like that, so it's not needed, and it's in the way with these forks with the spring, so that's, we've got to spin that off. And then yeah, it's coming to bits and all getting welded up properly and dressed back. So yeah, really we are on the final stages of this bike, really. And while everything's gone for powder and paint and whatever else we're doing, that's when we'll start a bit of work on the engine. The engine's absolutely fine, I know that, but we'll take the top end off so we can do the barrel properly, give it a damn good clean up, do my usual fettling around all the aluminium castings, fit the electronic ignition, and just get that all cleaned up. I think we're going for a sort of a scrubbed, dullish finish on this, because we don't want nothing polished. So yeah, that'll be done when it comes to bits, which is good. It's going to be nice to see this progress and off to Dan, so I can get on with the other 2, which obviously I've started little bits for them, and tick all these customer bikes off the list so we can get on with some different jobs from Enfields. Although, like I say, the next draw bike is the Enfield, the one I've already got, and I think I'll take my usual route with that. Really nice bobber. We'll do a bit of polishing on it, the polished casings, choose a really nice colour. I may even go for the burgundy and cream, because that's a good old-fashioned colour. I like that colour combination, so I'll probably go for that. I'm having a few people on the Facebook group, when you're starting the raffle, when you're starting the sticker sales. Yeah, I'm going to start them very soon. So like I said, we want to spread them out a bit to give Tracy a lot less stress. Anyway, that'll do me today. Just a little short one, but getting back into it, although I've only really had a day and a half off, but it's obviously the lead up with the draw bike and everything. It's been quite hectic and busy, so it's going to be nice to get some normality back and customer bills in the week, back onto the GS at weekends, and then when all these 3 Enfields are gone, we'll get on to something real interesting, some different bikes. And also, I've let you know, I'm trying to hunt a bit of a dirt bike down to go and have some fun with as well, so I'm going to enjoy filming that too. Anyway, that'll do as a little job to get back into things. Next one, I don't know, we'll be just picking all these little jobs off on this bike and getting it sorted. That'll do. Cheers for watching, guys.